What's up, guys? I'm Mike D'Antonio, founder and CEO of StockedUp. Welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. In this episode, we're going to be covering all of the important news that happened in the stock market today. We're going to go over the top stocks we're watching tomorrow and pretty much do a full market recap and stocks to watch for tomorrow. So today was kind of an exciting day for gold. Gold hit new highs again for the past, 5 or 6 days in a row. And then also the market was pretty flat for the first half of the day, but towards the end of the day, it really came crashing down. Like if you look at like a Dow chart intraday or even like SPY or something like that, Tom, QQQ, you could see how the Dow or the market overall really rolled over towards the end of the day. But prior to that, the market was pretty choppy besides gold. Gold really moved up today. So at the end of the video, we're going to be giving an analysis with gold in the market overall. So if you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe to see our daily videos on your YouTube homepage every single day. So with that being said, Tom, what major news happened in the stock market today?
Yeah, and after hours today, President Trump is actually talking about Kodak stock, and they actually won a $765 million government loan under the Defense Production Act, which was the first of its kind. And the purpose was to help pretty much produce more drugs that could help people, especially like I believe that they're going to start producing hydroxychloroquine, and that's going to really be they're trying to increase the production on that and expedite it and make it a lot quicker and bring it to market, potentially way quicker than they would normally do, because obviously President Trump thinks that hydroxychloroquine is going to help, obviously help treat people, and he can go ahead and or the government could actually go ahead and award these contracts and these like how they got this $765 million loan under the Defense Production Act, because this was a new act that they have, and it's going to be the first of its kind, and I think that they're going to actually do this with a couple other companies as well.
Yeah, so KODK is the ticker symbol for this company. They were actually the Kodak company that used to make cameras and things like that. So now they're shifting into, or at least opening up a new aspect of their business with the manufacturing of these drugs. But overall, I mean, this is great for the company. That's why you saw their stock price go from, let me see. So on Friday, this stock was sitting around $2.10. Right now it's sitting right over $8, or actually closed over $8. And right now it's sitting at close to $12 in after hours. So overall, they really exploded up. I mean, just a crazy explosion. And what I think is the most crazy out of everything is how the stock, KODK, had 75,000 shares traded. Not options contracts, but shares traded on Friday. Today, it had 280 million shares traded. So, it's definitely the hot stock for the day, obviously. And they definitely have great news behind it. So, they really just ran up so much in pre-market and sold off during the day because they were just up so much. You know what I mean? But they are breaking out of their resistance, their intraday resistance of around $11.80. They're breaking out above that right now. So what are you thinking for KODK?
Yeah, this is insane. They're up around 300% over the past day if you count the pre-market. That's just an amazing rise. Like you said, they're sitting at like $12.75. This would definitely be a risky stock, but right now, these stocks that are flying, whenever they get the momentum, they go. And I think that this stock, as long as it keeps breaking the highs and it breaks highs tomorrow, it could definitely continue a run up. If we go ahead and look at a daily chart, the stock just looks crazy. I mean, it looks like one of those pump and dumps that we see every once in a while, but this is obviously on good news. And I think this could definitely still rise, but whenever you see a rise like this, it's something that I just personally don't play because it's too risky for me. But, for everybody who gambles, I mean, it might be a good play. If you see some good upside momentum tomorrow, don't just buy into it because of the news. Definitely wait for the momentum. But that's pretty much how I'd play it. Just, it's one of those stocks that's so risky that why play it?
Yeah, I mean, these vaccine stocks, kind of like AZN, mRNA, when they have the momentum, they really run up. KODK is a little different because it's not like we saw AZN or mRNA, over double in a matter of 2 days. You know what I mean? Like a KODK was literally a $2 stock on Friday, and right now it's sitting at $12. So, there's such a big run up. Like, it has so much momentum that I would definitely not bet against it, especially because they have great news. But at the same time, it's like, look at this stock just went from $2 to $12. Like, do you really want to buy that? So it's kind of like for me, I would never buy it, kind of like Tom said, but I definitely wouldn't short it either.
Yeah, I would definitely just do like little day trades on it. I think that would be the way to go with this stock. Almost like right now, like I would almost buy this stock right now just to trade it, maybe back up to the high of 1275 right now. It kind of looks like it might start taking another run up.
Yep. And then also, what happened with the unemployment news?
Yeah, the unemployment news was pretty crazy. Pretty much the GOP came out with their plan in the new stimulus package, of course, and they're going to go ahead and say that they're going to replace the $600 a week, which is what everybody's getting who's on unemployment right now, and they're going to make it the 70. It's going to be 70% of what the workers' wages were. So that's going to change the game on how much money you're getting for unemployment. But the proposal would also send direct payments of $1,200 or $2,400 to individuals and couples, which is good to see because everybody's going to get another round of checks. Obviously, everybody wants another $1,200 check, but even Elon Musk came out today and tweeted about this and said that he didn't think that a new stimulus package would be very good for the people, in his opinion, because we're going to have to borrow more money and put ourselves into more debt to keep putting out these packages. But at the same time, it's going to be, I think it'll be good for the stock market if we actually do end up getting these checks and stuff again soon. But the thing is that it seems like the Democrats are fighting this right now. So they're definitely going to have some bickering in Congress. And I think it's going to be, maybe another week before we get this done.
Yeah,
I mean, they have till the 31st, which is this Friday. So, I would hope that they'd have it done by Friday. But if we don't see it by then things will really get heated up.
Yeah, so obviously you would think that a new stimulus like this like package would be great for the market. However, we all know with politics, nothing is done until it's done. So, even if we do have good news with a, potential like I don't know, like you could say closing or like official like done signed deal with a new stimulus package, that doesn't like mean anything until like everything is like completely done and signed. So like for example, if you wake up in the morning and you see some positive news like, Democrats and Republicans are getting closer to a deal, that doesn't mean anything. Really, the only thing that I think that would actually move the market like officially to the upside is if we have like a done signed deal saying, hey, here's a new package, this is what everyone gets, blah blah blah. Until we get to that point, I feel like we're just gonna kind of see like a choppy market like we've been seeing for the past 3 days in the market. However, if Democrats and Republicans, they go back and forth, I would expect that to, I would say, not crash the market, but to affect the market in a negative way. And, I don't want to make this political or anything, but, nothing's done until it's done, especially with politics and especially with a bill as important as this, stimulus bill slash package.
Yeah, they have till this Friday. So the time that they have time, like they have a timeline. So really, they it's almost like they have to get it done by this Friday. So I think that's going to put a lot of pressure on both sides as well because they're going to have to maybe give up more room than they wanted to on their negotiations just to get it done in time.
True, true, true. And then what happened with AMD?
Yeah, AMD had great news in the after hours. They ended up shooting up about, I think it was about 10%. This was amazing. They really advanced themselves over the past few years. They used to be around $12 a share. Now they're all the way up to $74. They've been coming out with better chips and better GPUs, which are used in Bitcoin mining, and that's just really been a blown up market, which is why AMD has been so successful. And they're also raising revenue forecasts for next year, and that's really what made them bounce here in after hours. And it's just a very nice run up on a solid company. I know tons of people have been holding AMD long term and have been getting AMD calls. So I'm not sure if the expected move was 10% or not, but I would expect that the AMD calls would end up profiting off of a 10% move to the upside, at least a little bit. It depends what happens before the market opens tomorrow, but I really like AMD, and kudos to them for the good earnings. They really deserve it for being a very innovative company.
Yeah, so AMD was expecting a $5.60 move. Right now, they're sitting a little bit over a $6 move. So the calls as of right now should be up tomorrow. So keep that in mind, but that's only if AMD opens around like the the $74 level or higher. That's pretty much right outside where the market makers were expecting. So that's great. AMD definitely did very well on earnings. And then also, Tom, if you could pull up an earnings chart soon for the earnings for the rest of this week. But before we get into that, I saw a $1.6 billion market on close sell order today. So there was news today. There was a sell order that went through at the close of the market. And it sold about $1.6 billion worth of shares. So that's interesting to note. I know, I think it was last week how we saw a $1.3 billion sell order. So I think this is very interesting. As of right now, we're sitting right under $3 billion sold in the past, like 7 or 8 days. So it's very interesting. So so Tom, if you want to talk a little bit about the earnings setup for the next couple days.
Yeah, on Wednesday, it looks like we're going to have a big earnings day. We have Boeing having earnings in the morning, Shopify, General Electric, Afira, Wingstop, Spotify. Everybody's been talking about Spotify and Shopify lately. Those two are very big ones reporting. Ameren, General Motors as well, Blue Apron, Six Flags is going to be a big one. General Dynamics, which is a big defense company, they're going to be reporting. SHOO, Stephen Madden. Everybody knows them, right? From the Wolf of Wall Street.
Right.
They're going to be reporting tomorrow as well. And then Thursday, we're going to have some more coming up here. Hang on, let me go back. On Thursday, we're going to have UPS, which is a big one, MasterCard, LLY, which will be Lilly. We have Grubhub as well, Comcast, Anheuser-Busch. Pretty much this is going to be, I would say, almost the biggest earnings week. We've already had a lot come out. On Friday, we're going to be looking at Under Armour, ExxonMobil, AbbVie. That's a big healthcare stock everybody's been talking about lately. Caterpillar, Pinterest, Chevron, bunch of oil stocks. Looks like they're going to be reporting Friday. So look for the oil market to definitely be moving on Friday. Snap-on, Dominion Energy, that's been a big one. Warren Buffett just invested in them as well. Looks like they're expected to have a 9.1% revenue growth. This is a great website, guys. If you guys want to check it out, by the way, it's called Earnings Whispers. They put out a bunch of great earnings reports and stuff like that. You can see it puts out the expected growth, and if you think they're going to miss, beat it, and stuff like that. So I'll put like I want to beat it, and then you can see that 46% of users said that they thought that they'd beat earnings. So this will really show you guys that what earnings are coming up, and they have a lot of good information on here as well.
Yeah, we can't forget about Amazon and Apple too. I don't know why it's not showing up, but they're reporting this week too. I believe on Thursday.
Yeah, they must be way down the list here. Yeah, they didn't put those on there, but they have all of them on here. But yeah, those are going to be even bigger than these guys. Amazon obviously reporting is going to be huge. They've had a huge move over the past few days, just like all the other tech stocks like AMD. It looks like they're kind of really consolidating and just moving downwards. You can see they went from 3,200 down to about 3,000 here, and they're kind of consolidating around 3,000. So I would definitely watch for Amazon to have a big effect on the market. I think that stock is going to be the biggest one, especially on Friday.
Yeah, so Apple and Amazon both report earnings after market close on Thursday. So keep that in mind. And now for the Discord member of the day. So today's Discord member of the day is Carnegie Steel. So he is hands down one of the funniest members in the Discord group. He's a great guy, and even on when we're having some bad trading days, he's always there to cheer everyone up in the Discord, always making some great jokes, and overall a great asset to the Stocked Up Discord community. So now with the momentum plays for tomorrow. So with the first momentum play, we have IBM. So IBM had a decent day to the downside, nothing crazy, but overall they had a kind of just like a slow day to the downside. So Tom, what levels should we shoot for IBM?
I would really just watch for him to break 124.
Yep, so if it breaks below 124, we will be eyeing IBM to the downside. With the next play, we have TSM.
Yeah, TSM, watch for them to go ahead and pop below 76.50.
Yep, and we actually had a great day trade on this earlier today too. Next one is LU.
Lulu, go ahead and watch for them to pop below 322.
Yep, and then last but not least, we have CMG.
Watch for CMG to fall below, I'd say 1103.
1103 again to the downside. So these four stocks, we are eyeing them to the downside, but we would only consider buying puts on them or shorting them only if they break below the levels we list. So now for the $1.6 million options trade that expires this Friday, we are eyeing the Intel 51 strike calls that expire this Friday, and there was about $1.6 million put into this play. Intel really took a beating for the past 4 to 5 days, and they have a ton of downwards momentum, right? But the question is, like, are we going to see a little bounce back? Because Intel, they really got crushed on earnings, and the thing is, like, I don't want to say, that the person behind this options trade is longing these calls, but I don't know. I wouldn't say that they're shorting them either. Like, I'm pretty neutral on it. INTC had such a horrible earnings movement, you could say, or such a horrible earnings move in general. Like, it's just hard to say whether they are longing or shorting these calls.
Yeah, I actually just picked up 100 shares as we were talking. That's kind of funny. I really like this stock for the long term. I think that if you went ahead and wanted to get into a stock for the long term, this could be a great one to average into right now. But this is amazing seeing $1.6 million bought onto the calls here. Do you think they're shorting them, Mike, or do you think they're going long?
Hard to say. It really is because, like, I would say, given it being, since it's a weekly option and it's pretty far out of the money, given that it's like a $50 stock, my gut instinct tells me that they're shorting these options. But when you look at the chart and you ask yourself, like, how much further can Intel fall, and like, is there a possibility for a rebound? Because it's like, yes, the options are out of the money, but they're not too far out of the money. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's really hard to tell.
Yeah, it looks crazy on a daily chart. They're almost back down to their lows, whenever the coronavirus was going on. And I think that really, if anything, I think this would be a good play either to continue momentum to the downside right now or to pick up shares for the long term. I definitely personally, though, probably wouldn't be buying calls on it unless we did see some good momentum to the upside, because obviously there's a lot of room to go up.
For sure. So now for the comments of the day. So we have Sam saying, what are your thoughts on SLV's chart? Will it continue up? So GLD definitely broke highs today. He had some good momentum. SLV wasn't quite, it didn't match GLD. What are you thinking for SLV, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, I like SLV. I think it's going to move like gold, but it's going to be slower than gold. Almost think of silver as more of like a value stock, almost not a value stock, but like a lower price stock. So, for example, like if gold is $1,800 and it'll move, maybe $100 a share, or $100 an ounce tomorrow, and silver might go ahead and move like 50 cents an ounce, and that might be like the same margins because of how low of a price it is, percentage wise. And that's the thing with silver, is that it's such a low price that I think that silver could definitely go up higher. But the thing is that I think it's going to follow gold. And if gold continues, I think silver will follow it, but it's just going to be slower.
So yeah, what are your thoughts on GLD then?
Yeah, GLD. I really like GLD to the upside, of course. I mean, gold, it looks like it's having a nice resistance up here at 185. I like to watch /GC, which is gold futures. And you can see they actually gapped up and ended up falling back down a little bit here. And I kind of like gold still to the upside here. It looks like they did actually break highs whenever futures open, which is nice to see again. But it looks like they're going to have, a solid resistance up here to break, at least on an intraday level. But I think for everybody that's holding GLD calls, I think that it's a good play, especially with the momentum we're seeing. And if the stock market continues to have negative news come out, then it's only better for GLD.
Yep. And then with the next comment, we have Raider saying, I've been subscribed to your channel for a while, and I just want to say thank you for the great content. I've learned a ton from you guys. I was wondering if you could give your opinion on eBay, who has earnings on the 28th. They are expected to exceed earnings due to online orders and people staying at home. I'm thinking we could easily see $62 to $65, but wanted your opinions. Thanks and take care. So thank you so much for that amazing comment. Means a lot. Thank you so much for the great words. It looks like eBay, like they didn't really move. You know what I mean?
Well,
Overall,
no, actually, Mike, they in after hours they fell from about 57 down to 52.
yeah, but they really didn't like move too much because you look at the options chain in market makers, we're expecting a $4 move to the upside or the downside, and they only had a $2 move. So like, yes, they moved down slightly, but it's nothing like the put options aren't going to explode tomorrow unless we see like a move below like the $54.50 mark. So
Yeah, for sure. I hope he actually wasn't buying calls though. That could have actually played out bad for
yeah,
him.
I mean, earnings overall is always a gamble. Like, it's hard for anyone to predict earnings. I mean, honestly, like this is probably gonna have the same type of move on the options chain, kind of like how Netflix did, and even maybe even Tesla.
Yeah,
So
definitely. I could see it going that way.
yeah, so overall, I mean, eBay, they fell a little bit on earnings, but it was nothing too bad. Honestly, I love your thought process, Raider. The only thing is, I think that the earnings were already priced in because we could see back in March, this stock was sitting at around $26. Right now, it's sitting over 55, or at least it closed over 55 today. Right now, it's sitting, at about 55. So I think that the stock price was so high, that's why it actually fell on earnings, kind of like how Tesla was.
Yeah, because they didn't have bad earnings. I mean, they had better earnings than they had back here, which is good to see, growth over that period.
So that was the last comment. Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or anything for the market tomorrow?
Yeah, I really like to watch Home Depot. They've had a nice technical bounce out of this triangle right here. I really like it. They're hitting all-time highs. They might continue up into earnings. It's just going to be a play where you have to continue that momentum up with the all-time highs. But other than that, that's all I'm going to be pretty much watching tomorrow until we have our picks.
Yep, absolutely. So thank you guys so much for watching this video to the end. Tom and I appreciate so much all the support you guys give to the channel through the form of hitting that like button, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel by liking the videos and commenting. Means a lot. If you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. Other than that, thanks for watching.